Hey, how's it going, everyone? Today we are going to do a day one Multiversus tier list. I've put a lot of time into this game overall. If we're counting the closed alpha, which is the last one, and the test server one before that, because I did not get into the first test server, I only got into the second one. I have played for a total of 47 hours, so I have like a vague understanding of where everything lies. And excuse me if this is a bit seems a bit rushed because it's literally like 9 o'clock in the morning. It's already 80 degrees outside, and I have my fan off for this recording. So we're gonna try to speed things through a bit. So first we will start off with Iron Giant, who I think is a B tier character. I think he's bottom, but he's still very good. If you have a good teammate supporting you in 2v2s, he can be pretty viable. He can honestly be up to B plus or even like A if you're really good, but I think he's more of a B plus if you have a good teammate. However, this character is almost unplayable in 1v1s, so that also plays into it. I mean, he can rack up a lot of damage, but for the most part, I would say you kind of only are going to run him if you want to run him. He's not going to be like a character that's going to like really help your team, really carry it, but he still has his uses, and he can still do a lot of damage. And if you have a good teammate who's playing like a faster character that can keep people off you, you can get stuff done. Next on my list is Wonder Woman. She recently got nerfed from how she was in the closed alpha. She is no longer as oppressive, but I think she still has a very valid spot in the middle of the roster. She can still do pretty good damage. Her killing power is way weakened from what it was. However, in 2v2s, this is still a character that I would say is still could be worth running. And I think she still has some of the strongest combo game in the game. Period. There's not too many characters that can combo as well as she can. It's just now it's a little harder for her to kill, you know. But she's really good. 1v1s, she's still viable. 2v2s, I think her spot stays consistent for both. And this list, of course, is rating them overall because it will include, you know, 2v2s and 1v1s. If I didn't clarify that, but I am talking about both. Steven Universe, the very weird, interesting character, because I I, I still think they're kind of a bottom of the barrel character. They got buffed, and they do have their uses. If they are one of these characters where if you play a certain other character to help them, they will thrive. I mean, you can very help a lot, but Steven himself doesn't get to do much. And if you have players that are smart and just rush Steven, it can be over for that match just in general. He's still a really good character. Like, of course, like it is worth running him on certain team comps. It does really help, but I think they didn't buff him enough. But also, if they buff him like a little bit too much, he will actually skyrocket. Like he is so close to being a good, strong character. It's just a lot of his moves just aren't as strong as they should be. Rain Dog, I think Rain Dog is B plus. I've literally seen no one running Rain Dog so far yet, which is kind of weird because I think Rain Dog is a good character. I think they can do a lot for you. They can rack up a lot of damage. They do kind of struggle to kill, however, they are a support character, and the fact that they can actually do as much damage as they do is actually insane. They got really good projectiles. You know, like if this was 2v2s, they'd probably be A tier. However, this character is almost unusable in 1v1s. You're not doing much with Rain Dog in 1v1. If this was the 2v2s, they'd be a borderline A plus. But it isn't. It's both. So, they will, if you have a good Rain Dog teammate, and you play around Rain Dog, you will probably win. Rain Dog allows all these characters, every character in the game, to play more aggressive, go for more kills. You play a character that gets kills early with a Rain Dog, like for example Taz. Taz can get kills very early. Taz Rain Dog was like a top tier combo. Alright, let's talk about Velma. I think Velma is an A plus character. I think she is really good. A lot of projectiles, nice close range attacks. She has the cop calling, which is, I don't think the greatest thing. It does take a little while, and half the times it doesn't secure a kill. However, that did get buffed, but I've seen no one playing Velma, so it is hard to say. But I still think she is an A plus character. She is the only support character, these gray ones, that I think can even be actually played in 1v1s. I think Velma can still thrive. I think Velma is a very fun character that is really good. Velma's a good character. I think this is the right spot for both places. Now let's talk about Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny got a huge nerf. Bugs Bunny originally was low-key an S tier pick, but I think he's down to A plus now. What makes Bugs Bunny so good is all the projectiles, the strong aerials, and most of that stuff still persists. I mean, he still has all the projectiles he has, and like that didn't change. A duo of Bugs Bunny is one of like the most unfun things to face. Like this is a group of characters that like Bugs Bunny is just really unfun to face, but they have like a bunch of top tier projectiles, and overall they're just a good character. Nice combo game. It's not insane or anything. It's not like really long, but it'll get the job done. A plus character. Tom and Jerry is a hard character to put because they're like Bugs Bunny, but they have no combos. They can't do much close range. You have to have a person play around your Tom and Jerry. Like Tom and Jerry, as proof of GSM Void, can work. I mean, right now I think maybe not because Void is probably asleep right now because time zones. However, Void for the last beta and this one has climbed up to #1 spot playing Tom and Jerry with like a teammate, of course. I think Tom and Jerry is probably an A plus character. It is really hard to say though because I don't ever run into them, and it's like you have to be good with them. You have to build around them. It's not like some of these characters down here, or like most of these characters. Like almost every character here rated so far, it's not a character you can play without playing around with it. Like you have to be good to kind of play most of these characters. I think Velma's kind of an exception, along with Bugs Bunny. But all these other characters, you have to play around the weaknesses of your teammates, and in solos, you don't have that. So, but I think Tom and Jerry, they're probably like down here in solos, but you can still get stuff done with them. And then in duos, I think they're probably S tier or close to it. Now let's talk about Aria. Aria is a weird case because I thought Aria was low-key like one of the best characters in the game. I think she was easily S tier. And then they buffed her, which is weird to me. They made her have a bit more use in 2v2s, but I think she was a dominant character and is still dominant. I think she's still an S tier character. They didn't like nerf her. Like when I was looking through the notes, I didn't see like any Aria nerfs. I think she's also such a hard character to play that she's not someone you see too much in 2v2s, but 1v1s, she was dominating last time, and I have not played like much 1v1s this time, so I can't really speak on that too much, but I think she is still an S tier character. Now let's talk about Jake. This is my main right here. And they nerfed some aspects of Jake, I will say. But I feel like Jake is still very, very good. I don't think he jumps down the tier at all. Well, I should say down the tier list. But I do think Finn is an S tier character. And I'm also going to order it. Yeah, this is all ordered so far. Because, you know. But I think Finn is an S tier character. In 1v1s, he's still really good. Of course, there are better assassins. And in 2v2s, he still has his uses with his speed boost. Because the thing is, like, his shop is still really good. Even though they did nerf it. It's still really good. He still has pretty decent combo game. I mean, there's some stuff you can do. And he still hits pretty hard. And he still gets good, clean kills at like a reasonable percent. I think he's still a very good character. Now here's a character I'm surprised they didn't change. And that is Harlequin. If I remember correctly, they buffed a few things over too. They didn't do much to Harley. Which I don't think she needed. I mean, she's an S tier character. Don't get me wrong. She dominates 1v1. She dominates 2v2s. Like, if I had to order it, this, just because she is, like, as good in both areas. Aria, I don't think, is as good in 2v2s. She will work. She's, like, honestly, like, A tier, maybe, B, like, around here in 2v2s. Like, she will do what you need to do. Like, her and Iron Giant's actually a pretty good team in 2v2s, but Harlequin is just undeniably, to me right now, the best character in the game. A super, super dominant character. They have really good projectiles. They can hit just really hard off their normals, get good kills. You play this duo right here, and this is like a very much winning team. They both have like the same strengths, and you can help just cover each other's weaknesses. Harlequin is insane. Not for Batman. This is a hard one because I'm really stuck between A and A plus, but Batman is a pretty good character. I think his buffs really helped, and I'm also probably gonna bump down Velma. Now that I'm like thinking about it a little bit more, but I think Batman's better than Tom and Jerry, but probably not Bugs. But Batman is a very good character now. They hit hard. They actually have kills. Their smoke isn't useless. You can cancel grappling hook. A lot of the flaws of the character are gone now. I wouldn't say they're S tier, but if you can see a good Batman play. Like Batman's not a character that's no longer like down here. Like the best of them were probably like A, could make him look A tier, but I think he sits pretty comfortably at A plus right now. Garnet is a very very interesting character. Because they're a character that I don't see like using too much in 1v1s. 2v2s they have their uses, but they're better support characters, but now they are a better brawler character, a better fighter. They basically nerfed a lot of the projectiles, but made all of her other attacks like pretty much stronger. So I think Garnet can very much handle like more now, which is cool. I think Garnet really needed. I think Garnet and Steven were bottom. Beforehand, it was this. These were the two worst characters in the game. And I think she is still. I think she's still good. I mean, like every character is usable, of course, but I think Garnet is thankfully not as bad. I still don't see Garnets. I still don't see good Garnets. Like she's not like a very popular character that you're going to be seeing too much, but I think she is still relatively good. You can tell what the bottom tiers are because you don't see this at all. Like these characters, like you don't see. Like some people are still playing Iron Giant because he's new, but these six right here are some of the most uncommon characters in the game. I've seen no Rain Dog so far, no Velmas, which I think is crazy because I think she's like low-key a sleeper. I've seen like one or two Wonder Womans. I've seen two Garnets maybe. I've seen like a few Stevens and a few Iron Giants, but mostly because he's a new character, and like a week no one's going to be playing this character like at all in my opinion. And I've also seen like no Tom and Jerry. These are like the only 5 I've seen consistently so far, and a lot of these down here. We'll get to those. Anyways, Shaggy got buffed, which I think is kind of crazy, because I think Shaggy was good enough beforehand, but I think the devs just disagree with me. Shaggy's a very good character. A plus. Like I'm genuinely borderline S tier, but when I stop thinking about it, I think Batman's way better and Finn's way better. So, but A plus tier is a pretty popular tier, and there's like reasons for that. But yeah, Shaggy of course. All the brawler characters can handle 1v1s and 2v2s like it's no issue. Most of the assassins can handle both as well, but it's like the rest of the characters are like mages, sure, but support and tanks they have a pretty inconsistency run in 1v1s. But Shaggy's dominant. He just hits hard, can kill pretty easily. He has a good spike. That's all you need. Jake is a character that got nerfed pretty. It hit. Jake still has some stuff, so it makes him useful. But I think he's borderline B plus. I mean, like his changes are pretty big. It's gonna take a lot of people like a lot of dedication to want to learn this character. Like I think Jake was borderline S tier beforehand, but it's gonna take a lot for people to want to kind of play Jake now. He has to be like one of your favorite characters to just want to play Jake. I think honestly he's like not good enough to want to play. He's probably better than Wonder Woman, but yeah. No one's playing Jake anymore in my opinion. This is like a character I still see but don't feel like I should. Anyways, now here we have a character who I think is S tier, and I don't know why. I said this last time, people didn't agree with me, but this guy can kill pretty much for free at ledge if he hits you with tornado at like 50, 60, some character 70. Like actually free kill, nothing you can do about it. He has pretty good combo games. He has projectiles. He can eat you. He can turn you into a chicken. Like honestly, because of his dominance in 2v2s and even like 1v1, very good character. You can stop tornado. It's not like an invincible move, but if you have a teammate who's like not allowing them to hit you while you're doing tornado, like if you have a teammate who's like really good, like this is like a top tier 2v2 combo. You have some like you make sure they're in stun lock, hit them with tornado, they're dead at ledge. Simple as that. Taz is insane, and I'm just waiting for people to see it. I'm just waiting. I hope his tornado gets nerfed. Every other part about him is really fun and is fairly balanced. Tornado just makes him a broken character because he kills earlier than like most characters with like one singular spike at ledge, which is absurd. That's not like that shouldn't be a real thing, but it is. They nerfed Tornado so you can't move with it as much as well. But let me tell you, it didn't change anything. As someone who plays him, it didn't. And now the last place, Superman. I think he's honestly probably a B plus character. Definitely better than the rest of these guys, but I think Superman isn't very good. He can do stuff, but it's like a lot of like what you would do. Like it's like, okay, well, you're gonna sit back and spam projectile, or you're gonna go close and try to like do attacks. I don't think he's good enough to like replace any other character. But yeah, this is the list. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it was thorough enough. And if you disagree with anything, let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. I'm just gonna go play Multiversus now, I guess. Goodbye.